So a lot of people are saying that the U.S. can easily deal with Iran. They have an armada of ships, and they're saying that what they can do is with their stealth bombers and their B-2s and B-52s, they can bomb and destroy Iran's anti-air capability. Also, at the same time, they think they can stop them from the use of offensive missiles to hit American bases and to hit Israel and pummel Israel particularly. I don't think either is connected. Then they can't deal with the offensive part of Iran war anyway. Now, they might be able to overwhelm their anti-air so that they can bomb Iran, but even that's going to be limited because right now Iran is getting help from China with the highest level of satellite and also from Russia satellite, and at the same time electronic warfare. And in the area of electronic warfare, the U.S. is deficient, which means that China, Russia, and now Iran, by extension, has better electronic warfare than they do, and is going to be able to jam a lot of their signals. They're not going to be able to hide their bombers. Iran is going to see their bombers. On top of that, China and Russia have 24/7 satellite systems all over the world that see every little movement that America does. So Iran is not going to be taken by surprise, which is probably one of the reasons why the U.S. or Israel haven't done a surprise attack during these meetings in Oman, is because Iran sees everything that happens. So then now if America wants to go to war with Iran or Israel want to go to war with Iran, they may outnumber Iran with weaponry and stuff, or they might have superior air superiority. But Iran will know that it's going to happen. And Iran has proven, as they did during the 12-day war, and as they specifically did during their riots, that they can shut down Elon Musk's system, his satellite system. They can shut it down too. Now, America will try to counter by having lasers, which when you shut down their systems, the lasers burn through whatever you're doing to jam them. But this is very important because it's going to give Iran enough space to continue sending missiles to whatever targets it wants to. And once it locks in on those targets, even if the U.S. is messing up their airspace and the ability to have radar, Russia and China from a distance will be telling them where to lock in their coordinates. You see what I'm saying, Kunle? So it's sort of like the drone guy. The drone guy is sitting at the bottom. He doesn't see anything. Somebody tells him, just put these coordinates there. And the U.S. knows this, and this is why they're hesitating to do for a war. Now, on the second note, what the U.S. can do is send some bombers, bomb Iran for maybe a couple of weeks, and then they'll have to regroup because they'll have to get more and more carriers. But meanwhile, if this thing goes over 3 or 4 days, Israel's going to get destroyed. And every day of war that Israel gets hit by Iranian missiles, they're losing 1% of their GDP, which means if they go 100 days, they're going to cover their whole budget that they spend $45 billion on. That's how much a 30-day war will cost Israel, $45 billion. So unless the U.S. can bomb specifically an area and kill Khomeini and cause dissension in Iran, there's no way they can win this war. The only way they can win it is by overthrowing the government, which means they would have to do a decapitation strike. And let me tell you something, if you want to cause World War III, kill the Khomeini and see what happens all over the world, all over the Shiite. I think they're Shiites, all over Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Iraq. See what happens if you try to kill the Khomeini. And if you kill the Khomeini, you think that you're going to have a regime overthrow in Iran. It won't. It's going to lead to a broader war. They'll shut down Hormuz, the Strait of Hormuz, and it's over. But to end, the point I was making now is that we've reached a new era of warfare. The U.S. can't bully you with their B-52 bombers because new warfare now is about hypersonic missiles. It's about electronic warfare, all of which China, Russia, and Iran are actually more advanced in drones. So this is a new type of sophisticated warfare. The way that the Iranians learned how to intercept American drones and things like that was Russia during the Ukraine war seized all of those weapons that America was giving to Ukraine and firing into Russia like drones and everything. And they gave it to Iranian engineers who reverse engineered it and figured out how to jam it. So what we don't realize is that this has been a long war going on since the Russia-Ukraine war. And because Russia has been practicing wars, just like in Formula One, the more mileage you do, the more data. Russia has actually advanced electronic warfare. So the war that they've been having against Ukraine has given them data to improve their army. The U.S. hasn't been in any major wars since Iran. So they're not building up any data for warfare. And they're at a big disadvantage if they try to attack Iran, because they're not only attacking Iran, they're going to be at war with China, Iran, and Russia. you take Iran by itself, they already make some of the best ballistic missiles in the world, even without China and Russia. But what China and Russia give them is satellite coverage. That's the main thing, and electronic warfare technology. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah. China don't even need to win any stupid war. It doesn't matter whether China's weaponry...
Yeah, but we're talking about Iran, Kunle. This show's about Iran.
And
Iran's existence is that Iran does need to win this war. So let's stay on point.
Let me explain what I mean. What I mean is this. Once China has taken on Iran's side in this engagement, China has now said, we support Iran, right? So if anything goes wrong in any attack by America on Iran, all China needs to do is just call back its money that is loaned to America and bankrupt it.
But here's the problem, China will only do that if it benefits them. So they may be able to say that we're not going to pull from America because we still have too much to gain. China is not like Iran's friend. They're not Iran's friend. They're just business partners.
Yeah. Because if they control Iran, more importantly than the oil, they control the Straits of Hormuz. And the Straits of Hormuz is invaluable. You cannot take over a country of 100 million people. Small countries like Venice, small countries with 10 million or 20 million, a well-armed, large population, organized, you can't do it. It's not going to happen.
No, especially when,
and the links, less so Russia, more so China, makes it practically, it's pie in the sky that America is trying to take out Iran. And it's just too big. It's just too big.
Not only that, not only is it not just too big, they have better scientists and a better educational system than the U.S. and West. So not only is it big, it's a 10,000-year civilization of people who are not only a big country, but also very sophisticated scientifically and logistically and economically. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. And how much do you think that Iran owes China? China has built roads and bridges and all sorts of crazy mad infrastructure in Iran. The West doesn't talk about it. It's huge. You cannot imagine the level of sophistication of infrastructure in Iran that China has put in. They put in too much money. They're not going to let America do anything there. This is a warning. China are just talking gently, but carrying a big stick and saying, do not fuck with Iran. Because if you fuck with Iran, there are so many ways that China alone can hurt you without even Iran and its hypersonic missiles. Because first, Iran is going to attack. They're probably going to take out at least one aircraft carrier. They're going to level or put a lot of trouble, going to raise hell all over Israel. Those two things are going to happen.
And they're going to hit one or two American bases.
After that,
let me tell you something. They have
China is going to look to recover its money. China is a businessman. China wants to recover their money. They're going to tell America, look at all this damage you've done to my infrastructure. I want my money. When America took those Venezuelan ships, China now put the debt on America that you better return the money because Venezuela can't pay back the loans that they've given us for investment because you've nicked ships. So you can't just, once China says they're not on your side and you want to invade another country, that's just over for you. It's not going to end.
Kunle, leading up to this war now, China has been
military together. And so the American military is so superior, they don't need to defeat the American military. What they need to do is put it under some significant pressure and then finish off the rest with economics.
Yeah, but look what America has, though. They have planes and bombs. In this new era of warfare, they don't have missiles. Israel has missiles, but Israel has a limited amount of missiles. The West right now, this is what they're not talking about. The West has lost its industrial capacity to build missiles and artillery.
The West has weapons for the last war. It's sort of like World War One.
That's nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs.
They had the wrong weapons.
But they don't have weapons for. They don't have the weapons for a war of attrition.
Yeah, because World War II was tanks, not trenches. So no matter how good you are, or dreadnoughts to battleships.
So now it's drones and hypersonic missiles and electronic warfare.
Drones are now the new way of war. America has to now. It can do it. I'm not saying they can't do it, but they have to start again. And
here's why America can't do it. Here's why America can't do it. In America's political system, most money that America used to spend on military, it doesn't go towards the military. It goes straight into the pockets of politicians and CEOs. So in other words, corruption. So it's just like, if you give me $200 to go buy a cell phone, let's say you give me $200 to buy a cell phone, so our show can be do better. And then I tell you that I used the 200 to go buy suya. That's what the U.S. military is doing. Hold on, that's what the U.S. military is doing. They're taking trillions of dollars that we're spending on military and is going to buy homes for the generals and for the politicians. You understand what I'm saying, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the battleship is obsolete, right? The battleship was up. The aircraft carrier is obsolete. Let me explain to you why even fighter aircraft are obsolete. Because now you spend thousands of years training a fighter, and then you can get killed, and that's the end, right? Now you can train a gamer to be as good as a fighter pilot, and he's sitting in a bunker. You hit his drone. He will just fly another one with all
the U.S. can't. Right now, Sikule, right now the U.S. is $40 trillion in debt. They don't have the money to reorganize and to build a new military system because it would take discipline. It would mean that they would have to stop borrowing money. They would have to stop corruption. So for the U.S., that's why in China they kill you. It's treason to overcharge the government. Or if the government gives you a contract, a military contract, and you don't use it properly, you could get killed. So what I'm saying is that in the U.S., there's too much corruption, so they're not going to catch up militarily. The only thing they can do is use
a drone against a fighter plane. A drone doesn't have a fighter sitting inside it. They're not going to be exposed to forces. That's extra fuel, extra weapons. And if the drone gets shot down, that pilot with his skill will just...
And let me tell you something. Those B-52 bombers, those B-bombers... It's
obsolete. It's expensive and obsolete.
Okay, so let's move on. Those B-bombers that the U.S. is going to use to try to bomb Iran, those things are sitting ducks.
Oh, they're
because not only are they sitting ducks, because of between Chinese and Russian and Iranian surveillance, they know exactly. In fact, they can actually bomb the site where those planes are before they take off. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, well, the way I see this, I think because Iran, China, and Russia have a common enemy, they have this kind of cycle. It's like a symbiotic relationship. China seems to be at the apex. What China does basically to help Iran is, they buy their oil along with Russia's oil, and with the money coming in with foreign exchange, it keeps the Iranian economy very strong. And Russia also gives them microchips and microprocessors in exchange. This helps their development of drones, which has become a very strategic, tactical, modern warfare weapon, because it works like a guided missile. With all this AI and everything, it's very cheap and it can carry out strikes, more efficiently than some of the traditional war weaponry. So basically what I see is that Iran is benefiting in the sense that the three of them have a common enemy. They're willing to help Iran in the sense that they're gathering intelligence and sending information, and China gives them technology in microprocessors, chips, and semiconductors that are used for most of these AI-driven weapons. They're also
getting supplied by, they're getting raw materials from North Korea.
Yeah, and they're getting raw materials from North Korea. And then if you look at Russia, Russia still owns, they're the most aggressive. They still have, they have a nuclear arsenal that keeps the West at arm's length.
Let's not talk about nuclear because there's no point.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it.
Russia's not going to use the nuclear missile.
No, it's not that they're going to use it. Why I'm saying that is because if they continue to, help Iran with intelligence and all these things, the West will think twice about attacking Iran because they have an ally in Russia and China. That's why I'm saying the fact that they have a nuclear arsenal keeps the West at arm's length. Not that
I don't think so. I disagree with you on that one. Russia is not going to use a nuclear weapon unless the U.S. uses it on Iran. And even then, Iran is not part of Russia's umbrella of defense. They're not part of their umbrella, are they? No, they're not.
No, but I don't think anyone's going to be stupid enough to use a nuclear weapon because nobody. I don't think as much.
Maybe Israel.
Yeah, Israel can
refuse to believe that.
Israel would use one. Israel would use a nuclear weapon. Those guys are crazy.
Plus the fact that
only if they get.
I hear rumors that what they call it, the Samson Initiative. I hear rumors that Israel has a nuclear weapon so that if they ever lose the war to Iran, they'll just send that thing out and destroy everybody, man. That Israel is what's causing the world so much trouble now. Israel is the big problem.
Yeah,
but anyway,
if